Welcome to sunny Central Florida and the premiere of my new channel, Grace's Neighbor Sharon. Thanks to Chantel at Crafty Hints and her co-hosts Brenda from Rustic and Lace and Amanda from 6 Kids and a Glue Gun. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this playlist. Let's get to crafting. I'm going to take this WAYFAIR modern wall decor piece and turn it into something farm fresh and fabulous using 6 circles in a grouping. The pizza pan is our largest circle. I'm also using 12-inch wooden dowels and skewers and some brown and black acrylic paint. Birch bark patterned ribbon from Dollar Tree. Small wreath forms from Dollar Tree. Cardboard. Some burlap from burlap.com. And I take these mirrors and I don't use the border or the actual mirror. I only use the backing and that just pops out no trouble. So we have 2 medium, 2 small, and 1 large circle. Starting on the large circle, I'm just gonna clean it up. It's already been Mod Podged. I just do that so it's ready to go. I want to make sure everything sticks to it that's going to stick on it. I take the birch bark pattern ribbon and I'm going to heat decoupage it. This ribbon did not stay as stuck on as I would have liked, and I do come back and glue the edges, but for now this is how I do my decoupaging. Just double checking the dowels are going to fit here, and they do. So I actually get 3 ready, but I only use 2 on the medium one. I forgot to use one on the large one, but I think it looks great without it. So I'm taking the brown acrylic paint and a little bit of water, giving it a good stir. It's just basically watered down paint, but it looks and acts like a stain. I use the baby wipe to just spread it on. It's got a nice glide factor. I love how it looks. I love that the wood shows through, and I love that it looks like a stain without the smell. I'm going to do the same thing to the dowels. I really didn't need to do that many, but such is life. Went ahead and used the same container, black acrylic paint, a little bit of water, thorough stirring, same baby wipe. Just going to rub it in. I do it on top of parchment paper, so when I'm done, ta-da, everything's clean. I went ahead and washed my hands and came back to my desk. And we're going to work on the medium circles. So I need a straight line to know where to put the dowel and the skewers, because we're doing the vertical horizontal thing. So I can measure a straight line, but I am not able to, apparently I'm not able to draw a straight line. I draw crooked, measure straight, draw crooked. So I'm going to use a regular piece of copy paper to make a template. It's just a rough template. It doesn't have to be perfect. I fold it in half, half again, and then cut the little chip out. And guess what? That becomes the circle's middle. That's the middle point. So using a yellow paint marker here, just so you guys can actually see it. I go back over it afterwards, but I wanted you to be able to see how I did it. And I had to show you both of them for some reason. But there you go. I grab up that circle template again, and I'm just going to fold it in half one way, and then I'm going to butt it up against the middle there. Okay, I brought in the ruler for a straight line, and then I used that straight line to apply the glue. Embellish the rest off camera with the burlap bow and the dowels and the skewer. We're going to go ahead and move on to the large one. I put the skewers on and glued them on the edges. Covered it with regular nautical rope. I'm going to take this burlap and lace ribbon from Dollar Tree, some Amazon lavender and Dollar Tree lavender, but I choose the Dollar Tree lavender. It's a little bushier. I like the greenery. I'm going to go ahead and make an awareness ribbon shape with this burlap and lace ribbon. And then once I have the size I want, I'm just going to scrunch it all together there. You can use wire jute, floral wire. You can even use pipe cleaner. Most people use jute, but I'm actually going to go ahead and use the floral wire because I want to get a really tight hold because this ribbon does not have any wire in it. I use the little clamp there to hold it together and cut out a piece of floral wire, and I'm just going to cinch it nice and tight. I'm also going to finish the bow with a little piece of ribbon that I stick a piece of floral wire through, and I'm going to put it in the middle there and twist it in the back just like I twisted the bow in the back, dovetailing the ends of the ribbon, fixing up the center of the bow here like I explained. And then a lot of times we attach the florals to the bow and then that whole thing together, but for whatever reason I decided to make a cute little swag here with the florals. I'm just going to trim it off, and I have lots left over for another project. I use floral wire here as well, and I'm just going to tie up the ends with the wire, make that little mini swag there, attach it with some glue, and I'm also going to go ahead and put a little piece of ribbon there just to make it stay better. Once we get that down with the Dollar Tree spatula there, the makeup spatula, I'm going to go ahead and stick the ribbon down on that ribbon, so everything is just going to stick. Just stick to the pan like it should, and there you have it. The large one is almost finished, and then I decide it needs to say something sweet and farmhousey, but I find this home in my stencils, and I decide I'll use that. I'm just using some painter's tape to tie it down and make it easier to press against the surface and not move around too much. I have this nice thick white chalk paint, and it's just like a little blob there. It just goes on no trouble. I don't have to dab any off. This is going to be my first reveal. Here we go. Came out pretty good, but I do use a stencil brush to finish up the ends and some of the holes, but I like it a little bit not totally solid. So now the large one is done, the medium ones are done, and off camera I start working on the small ones by wrapping some burlap around the small Dollar Tree wreath forms. Here's the medium ones, looking good. And also cut a circular piece of cardboard to roughly match the size of the wreath forms. Always make it a little bit bigger rather than a little bit smaller. And rather than do it black like in the original, I'm going to use this floral vinyl paper instead, floral vinyl, I think it is. And I love this stuff. It looks nice and it goes on really easy. It's just sticky enough, not too sticky. Doesn't stick to your fingers or your desk. And very few issues with creases or bubbles. I do it slow. I get it on the edge there, and then I slowly peel away the backing and rub out the creases and bubbles as I go, and it's really easy, done in no time. And my utility knife is a little dull, so I'm just gonna trim this away with a regular pair of scissors here. It works just fine. Sticks a little bit, but it comes off easy. And then I just need to trim it to the size of the wire wreath form. Once I get that done, I lay down a healthy bead of hot glue and press it firmly against the burlap. Do the same to the second one. Clean it up as we go. So small's done, medium's done, and large is done, and we're going to gather these up at a larger workstation and finish things up.
Don't forget to visit the host channels and the playlist for this month. Those links are in my description box, and I'd appreciate a big thumbs up. See you soon!